Hi, everyone. Today I wanted to talk to you all about three types of nonverbal communication. So thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Christine from Kyanite Psychic Services, and I love to help highly sensitive and creative souls build confidence and trust in their gifts and abilities. So as we get into this video, just to clarify, um, for today in this space, nonverbal communication, I'm not talking so much about body language or gesture, or eye contact, or anything like that, anything physical. I'm talking about the non physical, the psychic communication that's perceived with the inner ear. Three types in that realm. Because when we are cultivating our abilities and seeking a stronger connection with spirit, it's important to know that these categories exist so that we can start to discern between them, start to ask questions, important questions. So, the first category of nonverbal communication is our inner voice, our inner monologue. And I've talked about this before on my channel in other videos on my Clairaudience playlist, but everybody perceives and experiences their inner voice differently. For some, it's super loud. For some, it's quiet. For some, it sounds like their speaking voice. And for others, it doesn't. And the most important thing is for you to figure out how you feel, hear, and experience your inner voice and get really clear on that so that you can start to discern between it and spirit communication, right? And a simple way to do that is just to say some phrases, sentences internally to yourself and notice, what does it sound like? Where does it come from? How do I feel it? For me, the inner voice, it feels like it's coming from my core, from the middle of me. It's very centered in my body. And it doesn't exactly sound like my speaking voice, which is really interesting. So, again, take time to figure that out for yourself. The second category, I'm going to call this clairaudient communication, which can mean communication from non-physical beings. Any being that has no body, does not have a body, could be your guides, it could be people that have passed on, it could be your higher self, ancestors, and everything in between, right? All of that is clairaudient communication. You may find that it has a similar quality to your inner voice, but it's going to be different in some way. So, going back to what I said earlier, really get clear on your internal voice, how you hear it and feel it, where it comes from. And that will make it a whole lot easier to discern, communication from non-physical beings. For me, just to share an example, I often perceive spirit communication to come from someplace a little bit away from me. So right in front of me or above me, behind me even. Um, it very much is not coming from the same place, even if it has a similar quality to my inner voice. The location is always different. And again, that's my personal experience. For everyone, it's going to be different. And then the third type of nonverbal communication is telepathic communication. That is communication between beings that have bodies or between living beings, whether that's human, animal, I would even say plant, right? Trees, flowers, herbs. You can send and receive communication with them too. And that would fall under the category of telepathy because it's living on the planet. And the interesting thing between clairaudience, telepathy, is that we have some different channels in our energetic body that regulate the flow of that information, that communication. So for clairaudience, communicating with um, any non-physical beings, there are channels that run along the jawline. And for telepathy, there are channels that run parallel to the sinuses. So under here, right under the eyes, and then over the eyes and the brows, and back behind the ears, looping around to the throat chakra. So it's important to be aware of these channels in the body because, especially in the case of telepathic channels, if you are someone that's really sensitive, or you might say if you're an empath, raise your hand. Um, these channels can get clogged full of other people's energy pretty easily, right? As we go about our day in the world. And that can cause discomfort. It can make it really challenging to hear the voice of spirit, the voice of your guides, if you just have all this energy clogging up these channels in your body. Um, it can even cause some health issues because the physical and energetic body are intertwined. So if you're someone that gets sinus infections a whole lot, you might want to also take a look at your telepathic channels and do some energy work to clear them out. If you have a lot of allergies, things like that, sinus pressure, um, there's the physical reasons, but there also are energetic causes too. So always informing each other. So just wanted to say that. And you can also work with your guides to really heal and support you in bringing the level of those channels in your body, the level of energy they're taking in and sending out, to one that is beneficial for you at any given time. So, those are the three categories of nonverbal communication. Again, it's our inner voice, it's our clairaudient communication with non physical beings, and then telepathic communication with living beings on the planet. I hope that this is helpful to you. And if you'd like to explore the topic of clairaudience more deeply, I have a really awesome workshop to share with you all. I'll put the link to that in the comments below. It's called Discover Your Clairaudience, and there's a lot of information, a lot of exercises, meditations, ways to work with energy tools in that workshop. So if it resonates, please do check it out. Thanks so much for being here. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, consider subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.